season right now. We're 15-11. Big positive is last year we finished the year with 15 wins. So now that we're already at 15, we're excited about that. In the midst of that, we went through a spell where we had a 14-game winning streak. We started off 0-5, won 14 in a row, and now we've been 1-6 the last 7 games. And what it is we've gotten into conference, and our last 6 games have been against number 11 Clark. We played a doubleheader, and then a team that has been in the top 25, and now they're receiving votes. They're just outside the top 25. Mid-America Nazarene Friday, Saturday. And I'll speak to those games just real quickly. Last Monday we played Clark here at home, and if you don't remember what it was like, it was about 37 high temperature, 20-mile-an-hour winds. We had been very fortunate this spring, but that was the cold one, and it probably was a top 5 coldest that I've been a part of in college baseball. It was frigid, and we had the lead in game number 1. We're up 3-0. We get a pop-up just behind first base in the grass. My second baseman, who's a Gold Glover from last year, underneath it in his glove, and then all of a sudden it spun its way out, and he says to me when he gets back to the dugout, "Coach, I didn't know it came out of my glove until they started cheering," because his glove was that frozen from the conditions. And then we also had an umpire that, with bases loaded, didn't bother to call infield fly even though he was parked underneath it. And his explanation to me was, "Coach, why is the second baseman going behind the first baseman to catch a pop-up?" And I said, "Have you ever watched first basemen try to catch pop-ups? Every college coach, every high school coach in the nation will tell you they want their second baseman catching that pop-up. You just told me you don't know enough about the game of baseball to be on a college field calling balls and strikes, calling outs, if you don't know that's a second baseman's ball." And he just said, "Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree." And I said, "Understand that you just cost us 1 run, and then my team went ahead and decided to shut me up the rest of the way, because when we had the opportunity to get out of it with a 3-1 lead, my freshman first baseman gets a ground ball. We have an opportunity to turn a double play in the inning, and he spikes it to the catcher. So they score 2 more runs, tie the game up, go ahead, and they beat us by 1 in that game. We responded very well in game number 2, solved their ace on the mound, and we battled a very close game, 4-1, but we did take the loss in that one. But at the end of the day, we looked at it and we said, "Fellas, from where we were last year to where we've stepped this year, for us to be going toe-to-toe with number 11 in the nation, you've got to be proud of that." And that was a situation where I had to sit my number 2 with some shoulder soreness. So he missed that start. I was bringing in my number 4 to pick up that start to cover us. Then whenever we fast forward to Friday and we get into Mid-America, again, they were top 25, receiving votes this week in the polls. They have probably the best 4 NAIA arms I've seen come out on the mound. They brought a kid in. This is his 3rd different college in 4 years. So he may have some off-the-field issues, but on the field he's posted a .6 ERA so far through the season. He's a lefty that's 88-92, that's got a good slider and a good change. And we battle, and unfortunately had kind of a collapse in the middle, and they spread us out just a little bit in game number 1. Game number 2, their number 2 comes in with a 1.2 ERA. My number 2 comes up to me after two throws in the bullpen and says, "Coach, I still can't go." So I turn to a kid that I just put in the bullpen because his rotation starts haven't been very good, and all of a sudden he goes out and throws a gem for us, and we win game 2, 4-2. And then Saturday when we come out, we've got preseason All-American Phil Graham on the mound for Mid-America. We step toe-to-toe, have a late lead, and in the 5th they tie it up. They end up walking off a 3-2 win in the bottom of the 7th. And then game 4, very similar situation. 6th inning run puts them ahead, and we don't find a way to answer in the top of the 7th. So we lost 3-2. So my message to the guys was, we knew this was going to be a tough 6-game stretch right here at the beginning of our conference season. You just went toe-to-toe with number 11. You went toe-to-toe with the top 25, and 4 of those losses were 1-run losses. So you gotta you've got to recognize where you're at and the steps that you're taking forward, and build on what we can over the next couple weeks as we bring in Benedictine next weekend, not a top 25 team. Baker the next weekend, not a top 25 team. And let's find a way to mount up another 14-plus game winning streak. It'd be a lot of fun. So that's Evangel Baseball at this point.